Several small updates to the boat. I've had 3 rounds of repairs to the bimini. First, I had some stitching along the aft end that was blown out, restitched, and then later discovered all of the zippers were bad and went back and had all 5 zippers in the upper canvas replaced. And then we replaced the 4 clear vinyl panels, 2 forward and the 2 on the sides. And then there are these funky square panels on the sides of the flybridge that used to attach with lift the dot pins that never worked well, and half of them had pulled out of the fiberglass. So the canvas guy replaced those with snaps. 5 new blue pillows. I purchased 3 strobe lights, which will live on our 3 emergency life jackets. Installed 2 new gauges. First of which is a new holding tank gauge. The previous one was not functional. The new one needs to be calibrated. I actually calibrated it with the tank full and forgot to set the empty state on the last pump out. Second, this was on the survey to install a bilge alarm just in case our bilge is filling with water and the bilge pump is either not operational or it can't keep up with the inflow of water. This thing will start chirping and let us know. And this hole was for the old holding tank gauge. I brought a jigsaw today and I'm going to widen it a bit to attach these 2 gauges side by side. I'm going to have a little bit of a air gap, but at least I'll get those screwed into the dash so they're not flopping around. And my eventual plan after we replace the stereo and this marine radio is I'm gonna buy some black acrylic or possibly starboard, some kind of plastic material, not sure which type just yet, to replace all of this teak dash. And I'll do all new gauge cutouts. I'm gonna flush mount this Raymarine chart plotter. This was just a temporary install in front of what used to be a round depth sounder. I'm not so crazy about this A series touchscreen only MFD. I think I'm going to buy a C series, which also has the rotary knob in addition to the touchscreen. I've just found when we're out at sea and the boat's rolling, the touch surface it reacts on release, not on touch. So I've found I go to acquire a radar target and I'll select it, the boat rolls, my finger shifts and then releases, and I end up not selecting the target, and it's extremely frustrating. So C series with the rotary dial will allow me to move the cursor to the desired position, and that should solve that. And then I'll move this A series up to the flybridge. The survey noted that our 5 port lights each had various states of disarray, missing gaskets, broken tabs, so they could not be securely fastened. I hired someone to remove and replace all 5 port lights with stainless ones. A couple of frustrating discoveries. The new ones, even though the dimensions were the same on the plans, the rings are slightly smaller in diameter, so we've got, you can see here where the varnish didn't cover. The other bizarre thing is these do not attach with through bolts. The hole patterns are opposing for interior and exterior, so they're effectively just washered and bolted through the fiberglass on the outside, and I guess the just the wood core and this plywood on the interior. I wasn't involved in the install. He described it to me in great detail, but I was so busy with work that I didn't pay as close attention as I probably should have. But regardless, the new ones are very solid. There's no flexing to them. He did a great job.
We carry 100 feet of anchor chain, and the markings every 25 feet were faded, so I resprayed those with red paint, and the chain is attached to 200 feet of line I swapped that end for end as the first 50 feet was a bit worn and a little bit of chafe. The remaining line essentially looked new. That required a fresh thimble and eye splice. It's only my second eye splice, so it's a little ugly. Installed a new stainless shackle, and at some point I'll cut off the last 2 feet of rusty chain. Anchor light. The old one, the incandescent bulb in the dome was cracked, so I bought a new anchor light cover and a LED bulb. I managed to break the really flimsy bulb socket, so I ended up crimping the wire with a little extra slack and soldering it directly to the bulb and screwed in 4200 in place. So that thing should be good for the next 10 plus years. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.